Good morning. Good morning, all. Today we can continue the topic that is 8255 IC. Last class we were discussed about the architecture and different control word registers used in 8255. So next we can discuss about the different modes of operations in 8255. Different. What are the different modes of operations in 8255? Actually, it is having basically two modes of operations. Are there. Two modes. One we will call it as this one, bit set reset mode. Okay, bit set reset mode, and this mode is exclusively or only for port C. Okay, this mode is used only in port C, and which is used to set or reset the ports or lines in the port C. Okay, so the bit set reset mode is only used for port C for setting or resetting the each bit in the port C. There are 8 bits are there, so in order to set or reset, we will use this bit set reset mode. And next one, IO mode. It is a programmable IO ports. For in order to work with the programmable IO ports, we will use this IO mode. This IO mode is also having three modes of operations. Okay. One we will call it as mode 0. The next one is mode 1, and the last one is mode 2. Okay. So this is a bit set reset mode. We have already discussed that. What is bit set reset mode? Actually, this bit set reset mode is available on port C. That is each line of port C, PC0 to PC7, okay, can be set or reset by writing a suitable value to the control word register. Okay, so this is the control word register corresponding to bit set reset mode. Here in bit set reset mode, in control word register, the D7th bit will always 0. Okay, D7 bit will be always 0 in case of bit set reset. Okay, in control word register, in bit set reset mode, bit D7 bit will be 0, and D6, D5, and D4 it will treat as a don't care. That means you won't consider this one. Okay. Then D3, D2, and D1. These are used to for selecting the different uh, pins in the port C. Okay, or we can call it is a port C bit selector. Okay, D3, D2, and D1. These are for selecting the bit or pins in the port C. And the last D0th bit, which is used to set or reset the port. Okay, D0th bit is used to set or reset the port. And this is the explanation that I have explained in the previous slide. D7 bit is always 0, and D6, D5, D4 don't care. D3, D2, D1 used for select the port pin, pin of port C, and D0 is used to set or reset the selected pin. Okay, next we can discuss about the input output mode. As we discussed that input output modes, there are three modes of operations. Mode 0, we will call it a simple IO mode. Next, mode 1, that is strobed IO mode. And the last one is mode 2, that is strobed bidirectional IO. Okay, so these are the three modes in input output 8085. Okay, mode 0, mode 1, mode 2. Mode 0, we will call it as simple IO. Mode 1, it is strobed IO, and mode 2, it is strobed bidirectional IO. Okay, so this is the control word register corresponding to this input output mode. In this D7th bit, that will be 1. Okay, if it is in input output mode, it is 1, and if it is in bit set reset mode, the D7th bit will be 0. Okay, here we are discussing the input output mode, so the D7 bit will be 1, always 1. Okay, and D6 and D5. Okay, so these are used for group A mode selection bit. Okay, D6 and D5 are used for group A mode selection. In group A, it can work in all the three modes. Okay, It can work in all the three modes. That is mode 0, mode 1, and mode 2. You can work all the three modes. And next is D3, sorry, D4 pin. Okay, actually this is group A port A pin. Okay, that means if you want to set the port A pin as an input operation, you can put here 1. Okay, and if you want to set the port A for output communication, you can put here it is 0. Okay, that is group A, port A, and this is D3 bit, which is group A port C upper. Okay, so in order to make the port C upper portion as an input or output communication, you can either put 0 or 1 here. Okay, if you set 1, then it will be in input operation. If you set 0, then it will be in output operation. Then D2, okay, D2, this is group B mode selection bit. Okay, group B mode selection bit. In group B, it can have only two modes, mode 0 and mode 1. Okay, so in order to select that particular mode, either you need to put here 0 or 1. Okay, if you put 0 in this D2 bit, then the group will operate in mode 0. Okay, and if you put 1, then the group will operate in mode 1. Okay, then this will be group B port selection. Okay, that is if you want to set the group B ports are input operation, then put here 1, and if you want to set the port B ports are output communication, you can put here 0. Okay, then last bit is it is a group B port C lower. Okay, so if you place 1 here, then port C lower will be for input communication, and if you put 0 here, then port C lower will be for output communication. Okay, so this is the control word register format corresponding to this input output model. Okay, so this is what I have written here. D0, D1, D3, D4 are assigned for port C lower, port B, port C upper, and port A respectively. When these bits are 1, the corresponding port act as an input port. If these bits are 0, then the corresponding port act as an output port. Okay, and D2 is used for mode selection of group B. Okay, that is port B and port C lower. Okay, so that is group B. When D2 is equal to 0, mode 0 is selected, and when D2 is equal to 1, mode 1 is selected. Okay, so this is the control word format for input output operation in 8255. Okay. This is the D5 and D6, that is the mode selection. If D6 and D5 both are 0, then it will be selected mode 0, then 0, 1, then it will be selected mode 1, and 1 with any value, that is 0 or 1. That is here it is represented as don't care. So then it will select mode 2, and in IO mode, D7 bit always, it will be 1. Okay. So this also we have discussed in the last class. Next, we can discuss the mode 0 operation in 8255. Okay, mode 0 operation in 8255. We will call it as basic IO mode operation. Okay, basic IO mode operation, mode 0, or it will be called as basic input output mode. Okay, so to set this mode 0 IO mode operation. So what are all the changes that you had to made in the control word register? Okay, so for selecting this mode, that is mode 0, that means to set all ports of all ports in this 8255, we need to set in mode 0. Okay, so for that In control word register, first you need to load uh, uh, 1 in the D7 bit. Then only it will be in IO mode operation. Okay. So first you need to load a logic 1 to the D7th bit. Okay. But then here GA, group A selection mode, here we need to set it in mode 0. So you need to put what 0 0 in D6 and D5. Then only it will be in mode 0. Okay, so D6 and D5 you need to place logic 0. Okay, first for D7 bit you need to put 1, then next D6 and D5 it will be 0 0. Okay, then this is group A. For input operation you can put here 1, and for output operation you can put here 0, whatever it is. Then next you need to place here. Okay, here also you need to select mode 0. So for selecting mode 0 you need to put 0. Okay, so these are the changes you have to make at a control word register for selecting mode 0. Okay, so first you have to load a logic 1 in D7 bit. Okay, then only it will be IO mode operation. Okay, then for selecting mode 0 for all the ports. Okay, all the port means group A and group B. Okay, so for selecting mode 0 for all the port, what you have to do is next you need to put D6 and D5 0 0, because 0 0 will represent the mode 0. Okay, so 0 0. Then for selecting the mode for group B, you need to place D2 bit is also 0. Then only group B will act as a mode 0. Okay, so this is the things you have to write in the control word register for selecting the mode 0 operation. Okay, first D7 bit 1, D6 and D5 both are 0, and D2 is also 0. Okay, then we can discuss what are the different features in mode 0. Okay, so mode 0, or we will call it as basic IO mode. Okay, basic IO mode. This mode is also called as basic input output mode. Okay, this mode provides a simple input and output capability. Okay, using each of the three ports. Okay, it just provides a simple input and output communication. Okay, that means data can be simply read from the 8255, or you can write the data to the 8255. Okay, so this is just for simple input and output communication. Okay, that is what a basic IO mode. Data can be simply read from and written to the input output port. Okay, respectively after appropriate initialization. Okay, so this is basic IO mode, or we will call it as mode 0, basic IO mode. Okay, then we can discuss the features of mode 0. Okay, what are the different features of mode 0? Actually, in mode 0, all the ports will be work in mode 0, that we have seen. Okay, so two 8-bit ports, that is port A and port B, will be available in mode 0, and also two 4-bit ports, that means port C upper and port C lower. All these ports are available in mode 0 operations. Okay, here in port C, it can either act as a separate two ports, like port C upper and port C lower, or it can be act as a third 8-bit port, single 8-bit port. Okay, so that is the first feature. That means in 8255, two 8-bit ports and two 4-bit ports are available in mode 0. Okay, two 8-bit ports and two 4-bit ports are available in mode 0. That two 4-bit port may be either a single 8-bit port or a separate two 4-bit port. Okay. And any port can be used as an input or output port in mode 0. Okay. In mode 0, any port, that is port A, port B, or port C, upper or lower. Okay. So you can use it as an input or output port. Here in mode 0, output ports are latched. Okay. But input ports are not latched. And maximum of 4 ports are available. That we have discussed that. Port A will be available, port B will be available, and port C upper will be available, and also port C lower. That means maximum 4 ports are available. Okay. That so that overall 16 IO configurations are possible. Okay, 16 IO configurations are possible in mode 0. Okay, so you need to just remember these points. In mode 0, all the ports are available. Port A is available, port B is available, and port C can act as a separate two ports like a upper port and lower port, or as a single 8-bit port. Okay. So both port A, port B, and port C are available in mode 0, and any port can be used in any port means port A, port B, port C. Okay, can be used in either input or output. And also the output ports in mode 0 are latched, and but input ports are not latched in 8255. Okay, so that is what a maximum of 4 ports are available in 8255. That's all about the mode 0 operation in 8255. Next, we can discuss the mode 1 operation in IO mode. Okay, mode 1. So, mode 1 we will call it as strobed input output mode. Okay, strobed input output mode. So, for selecting mode 1, what are all the changes you had to uh, make in the control word register? For selecting mode 1, first you need to place D7 bit 1, because mode 1 is an input output mode operation. So here you need to place D7 bit 1, and for selecting mode 1, you need to put 0 1 in D6 and D5, because 0 1 that will represent the mode 1. Okay, so D6 and D5 you had to place in D6 you had to place 0, and D5 you had to place 1. Okay, then only the group A will act as mode 1. That means group A will work in mode 1. And for selecting group B for mode 1, you had to put a 1 here in D2 bit. Okay, had to put a 1. That means that 1 represent mode 1. Okay, so you have to put a 1 in D2 bit. Then only the 8255 will work in mode 1. Okay, so these are the changes you have to place in the control word register for selecting mode 1. That means first D7 bit it is always 1, because it is an IO mode operation. Okay, so D7 bit 1, then D6 and D5. Okay, so you need to place 0 1. Then only group A will act as mode 1. Okay, operate in mode 1. Your group A will operate in mode 1. So you need to place 0 1 here. Okay, then for selecting group B, you need to put a 1 here. Then only group B will operate in mode 1. Okay, so you need to put a 1 in the D2 bit. So that is the control word register corresponding to mode 1. Okay. And in mode 1, actually it is a strobed IO mode. Strobed IO mode. What is strobed IO mode? Strobed. Strobed means, have you heard the term strobed? Suppose the microprocessor. Suppose consider this is the microprocessor. Okay. And next, microprocessor wants to communicate with a printer. Just assume that this is a printer. Okay, just it wants to communicate with the printer. So, what are all the signal that has to forward for connecting a microprocessor to send that printer. Suppose microprocessor want to send some data to print, okay, to the printer. So for that, what the microprocessor will do is microprocessor will first send a strobe signal. Okay, it will first send a strobe signal. Strobe signal means one data is coming from the processor. Are you ready to receive the data? Like that, it will send the signal. Okay, to the printer. This is our printer. Okay, this is our printer. This is our microprocessor. Okay, okay, this is our microprocessor. Okay, here microprocessor first send a strobe signal to the printer. Strobe signal means just a signal that one data is coming from the microprocessor. Are you ready to receive that data? Like that, a message will send from processor to the printer. Okay, then if the printer is ready, then the printer will send a acknowledgement. Okay, printer will send an acknowledgement to the processor. Okay, that means I am ready to receive your data. Okay, then the microprocessor will send the corresponding data to the printer and it will start printing. Okay, so this is how the communication, this type of, that means strobed or handshaking type of communication is working. Okay, that means first it will establish a communication, then only it will send the data. Okay, so that type of communication we will call it as a strobed input output mode communication. Okay, that means there is a handshaking control is happening before before sending the data. Okay, that means first microprocessor will send a strobe signal to the external device. Okay, then then if the external device is ready to receive the data, then it will return corresponding acknowledgement. Okay, then only it will start send the data. Okay, so before sending the data, it will establish a communication. Okay, so that type of communication we will call it as handshaking communication. Okay, here in this mode, the handshaking control the input and output action of the specified port. Okay, in mode 1. And also port C line, that means PC0 to PC2. Okay, port C line, that means port C lower part, PC0 to PC2 provide the strobe or handshake lines for the port B. Okay, and also port C line, that is PC3 to PC5, that will provide the strobe lines for port A. Strobe line means this signals. Okay, signal for the establishment of this communication. Okay, so for sending that strobe signal, port C is using for sending the strobe signal. Here, port C lower part, that means PC0 to PC2, these lines are used for sending the strobe send or receive the strobe signal to the port B and PC3 to PC5. Okay, so these lines are used for sending the strobe signal to port A. Okay, and remaining lines, that is PC6 and 7, that will be used for IO communication, data transfer. Okay, so we can generally say that port C is used for generating the handshake signal in mode 1. Okay, so port C is used for generating the handshake signal in mode 1. Okay. What is handshake signal? You already understood that. That means before sending the data, it just to make a communication, establish a communication. Okay. So first we can discuss the features. Next we can discuss the features of this mode 1. Okay, features of mode 1. Here, mode 1, two groups are the group A and group B are available for stored data transfer. Okay, and each group contains one 8-bit data IO port and one 4-bit control or data port. Okay, that means 8-bit group A contain port A, that is the 8-bit data IO port, and group C portion. Okay, that contain the 4-bit control port. Okay, that contain the 4-bit control port. Port means for establishing the handshake communication. Okay. Similarly, the 8-bit data port can be either used as an input and output port. Okay, the 8-bit data port can be used data port can be either used as an input and output port, and the input and output port both are latched in case of mode 1. Okay, input and output port, both ports are latched in mode 1. Okay, and out of 8-bit port in port C, we are using PC0 to PC2 are used for generating control signal for port B, and PC3 to PC5 are used for generating the control signal for port A. Okay, so port C is used for generating the control signal. Okay, in that PC0 to PC2 are used for generating the control signal for port B, and PC3 to PC5. Okay, so these are used for generating the control signal for port A. Okay, and remaining lines, that is PC6 and PC7. Okay, that may be used as an independent data line. Okay, that is PC6 and PC7 are used as an independent data line. Okay, so these are the features of mode 1 operation in 8255. Okay, mode 1 operation. Two groups, group A and group B are available. Okay, and each group contain 8-bit data port and 4-bit control port. 8-bit data port means port A and port B. 4-bit control port means port C upper and port C lower. Okay, and then 8-bit data port can be either used as an input and output port, and the input and output both are latched in mode 1 operation. And out of this 8-bit port in C, port C0 to port C2 are used for generating control signal for B, and port C3 to port C5 are used for generating control signal for port A, and the remaining lines are used for sending the independent data. Okay, PC6 and PC7. Okay, so this is the working in mode 1 as an input control signal definition. So these things we can discuss in the next class. Okay, so ഇന്ന് നമ്മൾ ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്തത് ഡിഫറെൻ്റ് മോഡ്സ് ആണ്. മോഡ് 0 ആൻഡ് മോഡ് 1. ഓക്കെ, മോഡ് 1ൻ്റെ ഫീച്ചേഴ്സും ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്തു. ഇതിൻ്റെ വർക്കിംഗ് നമുക്ക് അടുത്ത ക്ലാസ്സിൽ ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്യാം. നമുക്ക് നിങ്ങളുടെ അറ്റൻഡൻസ് എടുക്കാം. ആശിഷ്, അഭിനവ്, അഭിഷേക്, ആദിത്യ, ഐശ്വര്യ, അഖിൽ, അഖിൽ കെ, അമൽ, ആമിന, അനൈന, അനിരുദ്ധ്, അൻഷിത, അനുജ, അനുപമ, ആരോമൻ, അർപ്പിത്, അരുന്ധത്, അശ്വിൻ, ഹസ്ന, റംഷാദ, ഋതുൽ, ജെറീഷ്, ഖദീജ, ലിഖിത്, ലിയാന, മിഥുൻ, നാസിഫ്, റാസി, മിനാജ്, നിഹാൽ, സാലി, ഷഫീഖ്, നബീൽ, നന്ദ, നന്ദിത, നിവേദ്യ, പ്രിൻസ്, നൂഹ, ഋഷികേശ്, ക്രിസ്ത്യൻ, ഋത്തിക്, രോഹിത്, സഫീൽ, സങ്കീർത്തന, സാരംഗ്, സേജൽ, ഷബിൻ, സെവിൻ, സിഷാജ്, തനുശ്രീ, തേജ, തുളസി, വൈഷ്ണവി, വിഷ്ണു, വൈഷ്ണവ്, യാദവ്, അമൽ. ഓക്കെ, അങ്ങനെയാണെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് അടുത്ത ക്ലാസ് കാണാം. താങ്ക് യു.